Let's do it, everyone. Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. It's good to see you. Thank you for joining me. We'll take an hour to talk about all things accordion. If you've been here before, welcome. It's good to see you. It's good to see you, Virginia, Ginny, and Connie. Hello, Christopher. Hello, Emilio. Hello, Ronald. Good to see you. Phaser. Really good to see you, too. Willie. Hello. Ginny, has anyone been to the Northeast Squeeze-In? I monitor the chat. I read the chat. Please talk in the chat. Hello, Susan. It's cold, eh? Susan from Victoria. Hello, my mom and my dad from Toronto. Hello, Sanjib. Good to see you. It's 8:32 in the evening. Thank you for joining. Sanjib, if you remember a few weeks ago, last month, I had a list of awesome songs from India, Indian accordion players. Sanjib was the source for that. Hello, Dreaded Shortcake. Good to see you. Let's talk about the accordion. If it's your first time here, welcome. I played music yesterday. I'm part of a band. We're 3 people. My friend is a tabla player. My other friend plays banjo. And I play accordion. And we just get together during the full moon and we play a full moon party. And what does it mean? There's a group of people and the banjo player is a leader in music. And so he leads people in niggun. A niggun is a wordless melody. Some that he wrote, some that are more ancient. And we get together and it's so cool. And so it's a lot of I used my red accordion. Let's play music. We'll see how it goes. Hello, Colin. I have some things, but let's start playing. I'm very happy to see my old instrument, on your shoulder. This is it. My friend, I call my students my friends, but a student from, yes, is playing Shostakovich's Second Waltz in D minor. And his question is, I'm sort of getting used to it more. I'm having trouble making the chords from bar 19 on the attachment sound smooth and not staccato. I just want to see where we are. I'm going to play Shostakovich, and I'll play it, and I'll pay particular. Let me play Shostakovich's Second Waltz in D minor, and then we'll get to the question. Let's do it. Where am I? I'm right here. Good. Let me know if the volume is better than last week when it was a little bit quiet. Down there it was too easy. Too hard. playing in D minor. So that was Shostakovich's Second Waltz in D minor on a big instrument. Who was saying they're big, they're heavy, they're heavy. Susan, you were saying every time that I pick it up, and I'm like, oh, it's a heavy instrument. I try not to do that anymore. Hello, George. Hello, Wendy. Student question about bar 19 fingering. Where are we? I'm going to read sheet music, which is always fun. It's too low. Right here. So we have D minor to G minor. So to the student and to other people, this isn't my sheet music, but I'm going to share it as a teacher. We get copyright strikes anyway. If you're interested, please purchase the music. Here, I'm going to share my screen. Okay, bar 19. We have the ba 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 ba. Let's just play it. Let's figure out the music. I'm coming from here, right? From the... I'm playing it an octave higher just to have a better sound. I'm winding up with my third finger on this A, which I can't select, which is okay. We're going from here. I'm going to start with my pinky just because we're not going any higher than this. So I'm going... I see what you mean. We're running out of fingers. Being F, E, D, C, B flat, G. What's the right way? There's no rule. There's no right way. There's no correct fingering of doing this walk down. But there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 notes, and we only have 5 fingers. So it's a little puzzle that we need to solve. Because if I start with my 5th finger, which is my intuition, and I do this, as much as I practice, there'll be a jump. We want it to be smooth. If one way to problem solve this is is if we're singing this part, it's ra da 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 da. So it needs to be smooth, especially these two notes. Ba da. In the middle, there's a space for a little switch, right? La 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 la. So maybe during that la, I could switch my fingers really quickly. Let's try it any number of ways. How I play it in real life, it would be... So... Right? I'm going 5, 4, 3, 2, 2, 1. It sounds better than... And I don't know how to do that jump without missing. I haven't practiced that. But this switch... Either 3-1 or 2-1... all throughout music, whenever we play something, we're going to come up around these puzzles. It's like you're playing a song and someone says, what's 7 plus 3? If it's your first time thinking about 7 plus 3, you're going to say, pause, okay, that's 10. Once you've done 7 plus 3 a number of times, 7 plus 3, 10. I could keep playing. So we see these problems all over the place. Over here, we're going to say, what are these? What's the fingering going to be here, right? You'll be able to read it, and even without reading it, you'll be able to eventually do it without looking at the sheet music. So that kind of walk down, there are any number of ways. Some people might start with their third finger, maybe, or fourth finger. Or that's a more elegant way of solving that issue. Zooming in, if I start with my fourth finger there, and that's the practice that we do. Sometimes we just intuit the answer in the moment. So my playing, especially once I add more fingers, is messy and confusing, but it works as long as it doesn't interfere with the music. Someone who uses correct fingering might start with fourth finger or third finger, probably fourth finger. A correct answer to my student: try 4 3 2 1 2 1 or 4 3 2 1 3 1. That crossover is one of those tools that we have as musicians that we use in scales, and especially when we have some black keys, like in a G minor or B flat. It's a really good exercise because, right, you're going from up here. What is the... until it gets really, really smooth. I'll pause there. That's a technical answer. But keep playing. In the sheet music, my suggestion is to play just the top notes. That's where the melody is. La, 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 la. When that's smooth, introduce full chords. Introduce harmony. The note, the chord, the fingering. It's much easier to just have student, I don't know, M. We just did a full unit on harmony, and you'll find it in advanced playing techniques, beyond the basics, right-hand techniques, how to add harmony. What they're writing is more difficult to do. You could support the harmony with any note from the chord. You could, this is the chord, D, F. You can do to G minor. So or in action, you could do what's written. Practice it. Good. We went a little bit deep. That's okay. Let's go back to our live stream. Hello, Joe Detello. Hi, Didi. Good to see you. How much accordions have you owned? Many accordions. In Toronto, I watched the movie Amélie, and I thought I need an accordion, and at the same... No, that's the answer. That's the answer. I watched the movie Amélie and Howl's Moving Castle, and I wanted an accordion. So I went on eBay, and I ordered an accordion for 220 Canadian dollars. I don't know if I told anyone. And shipping was going to take a long time, and I needed to get that, you know, that sound. So I couldn't wait. You know, it was going to be a few weeks away, so I walked down. I went to Kensington Market in Toronto. There's a music store, just filled to the brim with all sorts of instruments, and he had two accordions. One was larger. I don't know what it was, but it was quite expensive. It was $400 or $500 at the time. And the other one was a small red nameless accordion. It was a 48 button. You could still see it in my old YouTube videos. And what? And I bought that. And so right from the beginning, I had more than one accordion. And at the time, I would ride my bicycle and take my accordions out. And so yeah, I just had different accordions, and right away I was like, oh, the 48 is very light and I could play it, but it's restricted. This 120, the one I ordered from eBay, it has a different sound. So I've always had multiple accordions, lots and lots and lots, and it was always, oh, let me look on Craigslist before Facebook Marketplace and let me buy more used accordions. My accordions would stop working, they would die, and I didn't have the money to repair them, and so I would just buy more cheap used accordions, and I was playing gigs, and then my first new accordion was my 72 bass Weltmeister. I was playing a stage show and I had to have an accordion that would work, and so I had two accordions, an older one with these straps, maybe like you, would always rip, and so they would be duct taped and they would have a screw through them, but then I had this brand new Weltmeister that just worked, which was lovely. Good. I'll pause there. Lots of accordions. Depending on your need, you can never have enough accordions. Beautiful. Yeah, really cool. Andrew Lloyd Webber, right? Phantom of the Opera. Or Pink Floyd, whoever it is that wrote that little riff. Two things are happening? Three things are happening. Next week, the song Golden from K-Pop Demon Hunters is really good. I'm going to notate it, send it over to the transcriber, and have a lesson on it. I'd like to try it. I haven't properly played it. We have live workshops next week about touch and feel, how to place more than just notes. And I did an interview with Anthony Schultz, incredible musician, accordion player, head of the Australian Accordion Association Society. I had a question. If you remember, I did the X-Men theme song. And I was struggling with that arpeggio, and so I called up Anthony. I asked him if I could record our conversation, and I just wanted help on the... I wanted to see how he does it as another musician. I asked him, I'm like, as a professional accordion player, and he said, Ronan, you're a professional too. All that this is different flavors. If you give this to different musicians, they'll play it differently. And I thought that was really smart. But I'd like to... Anyways, I'm going to edit that video and publish it. There's so many great lessons. He's both an incredible player. I played with him at the Powell River Accordion Festival. And he's just a great educator and lover of the accordion. So that'll happen next week. Yeah. That's what's happening. We did the Shostakovich answer. Let's try Golden. I don't know it perfectly, but let's see what it is. Da 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 do do. We'll see. I know the song in my head. I've played it a bunch on the piano. I haven't arranged it. I haven't come up with a way of what's the bass rhythm, how do we switch voices. I think I know the song though. Yeah, that's not the right key. I was alone. Yeah. I'm gonna switch accordions. This accordion doesn't have an indicator where the E minor is, and I need that indicator. This is closed. You'll rarely see this closed just because I just took it out of the bag from the show yesterday. Ba 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 ba. Yeah, those are all the right notes. We just need to arrange it. And what do I mean by that? We every time, it's like saying I'm not going to use any analogies. How do we arrange the song? We start off quietly, usually, and we build up the intensity. But do we do probably a softer bass note? Or do we pulse it? Do we pulse just the bass? Just the tone? Bass and the tone? bit higher. How do I support that melody? What harmonies do I use? Do I use a different bass sound? Right? Now do I add more bass? I've reached high too early. All these decisions, it's not important for the teaching of it, but it's important for the performance of it. For the teaching, I'm happy to present these ideas, and for you, the student, to come up with your arrangement. It's up to you. I could say, listen, I'm using a bassoon and this, but when you perform it, to make it your own, these are your options, right? I like this idea. But I think I should start that in this place. So maybe in the beginning it's just... Right, it's important to mark those transitions, right? Yeah, really cool. Good, we played Golden. We talked about Anthony Schultz. All sorts of fun stuff happening. If you're interested in learning any of this stuff, we just did a workshop. We just did a workshop on going beyond Papa. On going beyond Papa. All these are workshops that we've done. Is it going to be there? Exploring rhythm is one of them. But the idea is we have an accordion, and not too many songs are written for accordion. Lots of songs can be played on accordion, but the repertoire of the accordion, Golden, from the K-pop Demon Hunters movie, wasn't written for the accordion. So how do we adapt it to the accordion? How do we explore that bass rhythm? We did a workshop on going beyond Papa, right? We could do... but it's missing heart, it's missing soul. This month we're doing Feel and Touch, but it's bringing it all together. And Emilio, there are a few, I know some people have done their own markings, either by drilling or, I know Christopher and Ginny, you've put a little Velcro pad with like a 3M, like a sticky thing, to mark where the E and A flat are. I need to do it. I just haven't. It's not a big enough problem. Let's play K-pop Demon Hunters. Let's play that same song on the big accordion. See what it's like. And that's another option, right? What does the song sound like on each accordion? Or a tiny drop of glue, for sure. Just any sort of little indicator. I like that, Susan. Or heat a knife and mark your buttons, for sure. too soon to the triple musette. And do we switch to a full oompa? I don't know. Anyways, good. Thank you for all the suggestions. I'm loving them. Very cool. I'm loving all the suggestions of doing something to get it. Ti-da-da-da. Beautiful song, eh? Whiter shade of pale. I like it. Whiter shade of pale, lovely. Is that a walk up, walk down bass? I can see. Yes, it's C, B over G, A minor, G, F, E over C major, D minor, C. Thank you, Emilio. G. Same progression now from G. Da dee doo da ba 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 ba. D, G, back to C. So the bass is doing. And now the same thing from G. And really similar chord progression too. It's 9 o'clock on Saturday. Regular crowd shuffles in. There's etc. Really similar progression too. Would you know my name if I saw you in heaven? Really cool. It works so well on guitar and on organ, on a keyboard, just because a little bit more difficult for us. Same chord progression as this band that I'm in. They're big Grateful Dead fans. I've never gotten into the Grateful Dead, but we play Ripple and we play Friend of the Devil is a Friend of Mine. Same chord progression. Same progression. So Wendy, worthwhile learning it. It's not, it's an extended walk up and walk down chord progression. Yeah. What's it called? It's yesterday at this party. I'm like, hey, do you guys know Grateful Dead? They're a good band. That's like saying, hey, Beethoven, he's a cool guy, eh? Friend of the Devil, it's called. Beautiful. Ripple's the other song that's on that album. That's beautiful. Good, let's keep going. I'm going to play a niggin that we played last night. We had 20 people singing with voices. I have one voice and an accordion. Let's go for it though. How did it go? I'm in F major. It goes like this. That's part A. Hi, William. Part 2, 1, 4, 5. That's a really cool niggin. Thank you, Lynn. Hello, and hello to the Vancouver Islanders that are with you. Yeah, really cool. Really straightforward chords, no lyrics, just la da 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 da's. I'm just talking about. I say hi, hello. You inspired me to play accordion myself, so thank you. You've helped me a lot with my playing recently. Thank you. See ya. Thank you, Xander Merritt. Thank you for that. Let's do a few more songs, and then I'll pause. Or if you have questions, I'm happy to answer them. I don't know how long this water's been here, but there are no animals in here, so I think it's okay. I don't know if you watch, there's a YouTube channel called Chubby Emu. Chubby Emu, he's a doctor, and he covers real life medical situations. The audience is both folks and medical students, and so he says, it's anonymous. So JR steps into the emergency room with such and such conditions, increased blood pressure and whatever, and he ate, and then they present the situation. He ate leftover noodles with shrimp in them that were left out overnight for 2 days. These situations are always like, RS is presenting to the emergency room with blah blah. It turns out he drank water that was out for 2 weeks in the sun, and there was some sort of mosquito carrying larva that, now I don't want to drink my water anymore, but that kind of stuff. Like, they ate gas station sushi that was left out too long, and so all these... Anyways, it's a really interesting channel. I'm not going to drink the water now. It just reminds me of how powerful our body is, and just on the inside, just all the cool mechanics of our body, and blood cells and blood pressure and parasites and all these things that are in lovely balance. And then once you introduce something bad, what can happen to our body? Dr. House, yeah, I think it's a very similar thing, but this is a really fun YouTube channel. We watch it with the kids sometimes as both an education, and please don't do this. I've never attempted, that was Alcohol Ele by Hannah Sinish. Beautiful song. I've never attempted to tune my accordion, but I've seen people do it at the accordion store. They have a little tuning table and something with true tuning. Accordion Revival. Accordion Revival? Accordion Revival, if you're able to spell it, is a site that has accordion repair ideas and things, and they have professional offering accordion repair services. They have all these topics: voicing reeds, freeing sticking keys. Check it out if you want to do it yourself. I'm such not a DIY person that I'm afraid to put glitter on my stuck key. If you are a tinkerer, and maybe you are, check out Accordion Revival. No association with me in Accordion Revival, but I've heard good things. That might be it for today. Thank you. If you're interested in things, in learning, check out Accordion Love. If you're interested in playing gently and learning about touch and doing those exercises together, we have our live workshops tomorrow. Our live workshop starts tomorrow. The replay will be available for those of you that want it. Yeah, and I'll see you next week. I believe we have a live stream next Sunday. Correct. Awesome. Let me know if you have any questions. Where's the live stream? There it is. Have a good week.